Hi everybody. Freedom of speech. Well, this is a video response to Nihon Masum talking about, oh yeah, I respect that. Seems that you're a Japanese person and stuff. Well, about freedom of speech. Well, thank God I'm in the United States. There's freedom of speech in the United States. So it is important to know about what this kind of issue is. The ferry accident in South Korea that have happened a while ago. What the Koreans did, we have offered them our technology, us Westerners. That's how Korea has succeeded. Japan has did part of it too, but one thing I'm talking about is this. This is just more a disclaimer of this freedom of speech thing. You cannot talk against the Koreans and all that stuff. That's why there's the Korean unit raping Vietnamese women, and you could protest here. Freedom of speech in South Korea is similar to freedom of speech in Cuba, talking against the Cuban government, in that sort of way. But at least one thing that they could have rights to vote and whatever it is. The thing is with this kind of thing is that they have something so strange about North Korea and South Korea. South Korea on one hand has really strong ties and learning from Great Britain on taking orders for territories and all that stuff, like the Takeshima Dokdo situation. This Korea would be happily won that over against Japan if Korea was part of Great Britain, and that is one case of the story. But other case of that story, Nihon Assume. But I had the same thing I was doing with the World War III video and stuff like that. Having free trade with South Korea would be one reason I decided for a positive for a motorcycle manufacturer in the United States to make a superbike, using our own technology, and then so they could make a faster motorcycle than the ones that Japan makes. No offense to you, or no offense to any Japanese washer knowing English watching this in YouTube, right? But in a matter of fact, that if I say something, right, I could go to Korea and say that all Korean baseball players use steroids. That 100% of all Korean baseball players in Major League Baseball are steroid users in South Korea. What would they do me? Kick my ass? That's one possibly true thing. Talking against Koreans, kill me. Another possibility. They could kill me and kick my ass at the same time. I have like this high risk of saying that, but here, there's nothing. They ain't gonna do shit on me because I'm in the United States of America, and and this is why you could easily protest. Tibet, they protest. What about the freedom of speech to talk about against Palestine and Israel? What it is you could talk about against the Palestinian government to impeach the Palestine president if it has been wars between Christian and Jews at the first time. Now it's Christian and Muslims. Take away, have freedom for the Christian people of all denominations, that there is a more diplomatic way that Israel and Palestine could do if they have a Christian president in Palestine, and that is if the ICJs favor Palestine, for instance, and the Palestinian Christians could be in favor of that, that Palestine be a Christian nation that the rest of the other Western world is, then the chances is that they could have a chance to build a cathedral in Gaza, the Gaza Cathedral. It's easier. Let Israel. It is what it says in my own belief that Israel's our God chosen people. Whenever it is, I don't know if you're a Christian in Japan, Nihamasun, but you know, I could aware of discipline and spirituality, what it is, and guess what? I respect that, and then I would say freedom of speech in this country or wherever country you have truly a real, true freedom of speech. I'd say more kudos to that. I would say that the Korean baseball team in South Korea, that they use cork bats against that the Korean baseball team use cork bats or they use steroids, and then in Korea, well, there is a possibility that the Korean government could kick my ass or kill me or kick my ass, you know, because I'm talking against Korea. Yeah, and then I cannot say about the Korean unit raping Vietnamese women during the Vietnam War, you know, but I could say that the American government used American soldiers that raped Korean women. Then that's a story that they could probably believe, or you know, if they could go anti-American or whatever it is, you know, that I would say that the United States supports more on Japan than Korea. You know, let it be. I don't know if they want to burn American flags if I say that in Korea. You know, let's see about that. Other is that freedom of speech is something to appreciate it. You know, I think Japan has its form of freedom of speech also. You know, it is what it is. Freedom of speech is what I'm talking about. You know, this is what it is. If you could look in my World War III video about World War III and what's going on, what's going to happen. So I think that today will be the day, and you could recognize me, or you could say thanks, and you could comment on my World War III video that what would happen is quite true about World War III, because I believe Japan might be entering World War III when the Queen of England unite the two Koreas. And that is about the first of all, it's about the Takeshima Dokdo, or the Lane Court rock situation, that Japan will probably lose against Korea when Queen Elizabeth appears in Korea. You know, all you have to do is know the story about Great Britain and their invasions. That's it. So, goodbye.